synchronous generator. So the synchronous generator, the speed of the synchronous generator, that's called rotor speed of the synchronous generator, is called ns. Stator rotating magnetic field and a rotor rotating same speed. Understood? In this synchronous generator and synchronous motor, the rotor speed and the stator rotating magnetic field both are same speed. That is nothing but slip is equal to ns minus nr by ns. So here synchronous speed is equal to rotor. Rotor speed is equal to synchronous speed. Rotor speed is equal to synchronous speed. Nr is equal to ns. Then slip is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns. So then 0. That is called slip here 0. Okay, synchronous generator slip 0 because of the rotor speed is equal to the synchronous speed. Rotor speed is equal to the synchronous speed. Because of that, the slip becomes 0 in synchronous generator or synchronous motor. That means the rotor is rotating at synchronous speed. There is no relative speed variation between stator rotating magnetic field and rotor rotation. The relative speed between the stator rotating magnetic field and rotor is equal to 0 in synchronous machines. That may be in generator or that may be motor. Okay. So in a synchronous generator, the field winding is excited by DC. Okay. Field winding is excited by DC and armature winding is excited by AC. Okay. The field winding is excited by DC. Field winding is excited by DC. Armature winding is excited by AC. So that's why this synchronous generator is on synchronous machine is also called as a double excited synchronous machine. Double excited machine. Double excited machines. Remember. Okay. Double excited machine. Induction machine is a single excited machine. Only stator is excited. The rotor is excited because of magnetic induction. So only you have to give the power supply to the stator winding only, not to rotor winding. But in a synchronous generator, so you have to give this power supply to the stator winding in synchronous motors. Okay, synchronous machines, synchronous motor. So we have to give the power supply to the stator winding and also rotor winding. The rotor winding is excited by DC supply. Stator winding is excited by AC. Okay, that's why this machine is called as a double excited machine. Okay, synchronous machine is classified as synchronous generator and motor. It's classified into two types. As one is a generator, synchronous generator, and synchronous motor. Okay, synchronous generators are widely used to generate the constant output voltage. Constant output voltage. The output voltage of the generator is constant. That's why they generally use it in so different type of generating stations. That is called thermal power plants, hydro power plants, diesel power plants, nuclear power plants. It's clear. So synchronous generator, by using these generators only, so we have to generate the electricity. Synchronous generators only. By using synchronous generators in thermal power plants, hydro power plants, nuclear power plants, diesel power plants. Okay, the electricity can be generated. Is it understand? In thermal power plants, in hydro power plants. Okay, this type of generators are used, synchronous generators. By using these generators, the power can be generated. Understood? Because of this output voltage is constant. Because of this speed of the rotating magnetic field and stator rotating magnetic field and rotor rotation is constant. Okay. Stator rotating magnetic field and rotor rotations are constant. That's why the output voltage of this generator is constant. That's why it can be used for generators in power plants. Okay. Then coming to this synchronous generator. Okay. Construction of synchronous generator. The construction wise, an alternator consisting of field poles. Alternator. This alternator is nothing but generator. Alternator is nothing but generator. This alternator is nothing but generator. Construction wise, an alternator that is called generator consists of field poles. Understood? Consisting of field poles placed on rotating part. Okay. These field poles are rotating on rotating part. That is called field winding. Okay. This field poles are placed on rotating part, that is called field winding, and in the stator winding or armature winding is stationary, but magnetic field is rotating. Okay, in all modern electric power generating stations use this technology for generation of three-phase power. Field winding is rotating, armature winding is stationary. Okay, in DC machine, okay, field winding is stationary, armature winding is rotating. Am I right? Armature winding is placed on rotor. In DC machines, armature winding is placed on rotor. Field winding is placed on stator in DC machines. Okay, in general. Okay, but in a synchronous generator, field winding is placed on rotor, armature winding is placed on stator. Because of to collect the power from the stator is easy. From stationary part. From the stationary part to collect the power is very easy, no? Compared to rotating part. That's why the rotor is rotating, that is called field is rotating, and armature winding, that is called stationary. The stator winding is stationary, armature winding is rotating. The field winding is rotating, armature winding is stationary in a synchronous generator. So, understood? In modern electrical power generating stations use this technology, generation of three-phase power, and results in alternator or synchronous generator has become a subject of great importance and interest for power engineers. So why? Because by using these generators, you can easily generate the electricity. Okay, and an alternator is basically a type of AC generator, which is known as synchronous generator. Alternator is a type of AC generator, which is also known as a synchronous generator. Alternator is nothing but generator. Okay, the field poles are placed on rotor, armature winding is placed on stator. Okay, so why? Because armature winding is placed on stator means so amount of insulation is required is less, and also to place the insulation is also so high. I mean, is easily to place the insulation. Stationary part is easy compared to rotating part. Am I right? To control the winding of the stationary part is easy compared to rotating part. Okay, if you are using armature winding on rotor, field winding on stator, what happens? To collect the electricity from the armature winding, rotating part is very difficult. So by using brushes, we are collecting the power. So this maintenance is required from the rotating part. From the slip rings and brushes, we have to collect the power rotating part, and we have to give the power supply to the rotating part by using brushes, by using slip rings. Am I right or not? So it is somewhat difficult, right? To give the power supply to the power to the rotating part is somewhat difficult compared to stationary part. That's why armature winding is placed on stator. The field winding is placed on rotor. An alternator is basically a type of AC generator, which is known as a synchronous generator. The field poles are made to rotate at synchronous speed, N is equal to 120 F by P. Okay. So for effective power generation, where F is alternating current frequency, that's called alternating current frequency, and P is the represent the number of poles. F is called frequency and P is called number of poles. Okay, so this is the synchronous generator construction. This is called stator. So all of you can focus on this concept. This is called stator. Okay, understood. The stator is so winding. The stator, these are the number of slots. The stator is having slots. In this slots, the windings placed like stator winding. It's called stator winding. The stator winding is placed on stator core like this manner. The winding is distributed like this manner in the stator winding. Okay. So the stator generally is called armature winding. This is called stationary. The armature winding is stationary. Okay. This is called field winding. This is called field winding. The field winding is excited by DC supply, plus minus. Okay. North pole and south pole. This fixed. North pole is fixed here. South pole is fixed here. This is called field winding. Okay, this is called field winding. Your north pole and south pole, the DC supply. The DC supply polarity is here always plus and here minus. It's not alternating. It's constant. No? That's why the polarities are not changing. It's constant. North pole and south pole are constant. That's why it is called salient pole rotor. This is called salient pole rotor. Salient pole rotor. The poles are projected. That's why it is called projected pole rotor or salient pole rotor. Okay, salient pole synchronous motor. This is called stator core, and the stator core is having slots, and the slots of the winding is placed, stator winding is placed, and this is called three-phase supply. Okay, three-phase supply, and this is called stator winding, and stator slots, and the stator slots, and the stator winding is placed, and this is called salient pole rotor. The salient pole rotor, so we have to give the power supply externally by using this supply. This is called field winding. So remember, this is called field winding. So here the stator is excited by three-phase supply. The stator is excited by three-phase supply, and the rotor is excited by DC supply. That's why it is called as a double excited machine. Okay, synchronous machine is called as a double excited. The rotor is excited by DC supply, and the stator is excited by three-phase supply. Okay, because of the three-phase supply, this rotating magnetic field is developed in this machine. Understood? And this rotor is rotating at synchronous speed. This is speed of the rotating stator rotating magnetic field, and the rotor is rotating same speed. Okay, for example, the stator rotating magnetic field is rotating at 1500 RPM. Okay, the stator rotating magnetic field is rotating at 1500 RPM. The rotor is also rotating at 1500 RPM. That means the relative speed between the stator and the rotor is 0. That's a slip 0. The synchronous machines slip is equal to 0. But in the induction machine, slip changes. Okay. So here north pole means here north pole compulsory the stator winding, here south pole. So south pole exists here. Here south pole, here north pole exists. Understood? So here is north pole and here south pole. Here south pole means here north pole compulsory exists in stator winding. This south pole and here north pole. This north pole is rotating. This is called field. North field, south field. This field is rotating in the stator. So if north is rotating means the south, there is an attraction between south pole and north pole. There is an attraction between the south pole and north pole. Because of the stator, north pole is rotating like this. This field is rotating in like this manner. So south is this. There is an attraction between these two. Because of this attraction, this rotor is also rotating in this direction. So here also this south pole, here this field is rotating, stator rotating magnetic field is rotating in this direction. So here south pole is moving in this direction, means the north pole, there is an attraction between north and here south. So it is also moving in this direction. So like this, there is a magnetic locking between stator and rotor. Understood? Stator rotating magnetic field and rotor. There is a magnetic locking between stator rotating magnetic field and rotor. So understood. So that's why this stator magnetic field is rotating and also rotor is also rotating. In this way, this machine is operating. Salient pole rotor. Okay. So in most practical construction of alternator, it is installed with the stationary armature. I'm already explaining stationary armature. So because if it is stationary, the armature winding is stationary. It's also called as a stationary. So if it is a generator, so to collect the power from the stationary part easy. To collect this power, okay, to collect the energy or power from this stationary part is easy, no? Compared to rotating part. If for example, the armature winding, this winding, three-phase winding is placed on rotor and field winding is placed on stator. This is rotating. So to collect the three-phase supply from the rotor by using slip rings or brushes, somewhat difficult, very difficult to collect the power. That's why the field winding is placed on rotor and armature winding is placed on stator. Okay. So the most of the practical construction of alternator is installed with the stationary armature winding and rotating field, unlike in this case of DC generator. Okay. Same as in this DC generator, where this arrangement is exactly opposite. I'm already explaining in DC machines, field winding is on stator, and armature winding in rotor. Field winding is on stator, armature winding on rotor in DC machines. But here exactly opposite. Field winding is on rotor and armature winding on stator. Okay, in DC machines, field winding must be stator, armature winding should on rotor. So because of commutation action, commutation is failure. Otherwise, commutation is failure. Okay, commutation is not possible in DC machines. If field winding is placed on rotor, armature winding is placed on stator, the commutation problems takes place in DC machines. That's why to avoid that problem, always DC machines field winding is on stator only, armature winding is in rotor. Understood? Clear? This is called DC machine. This is DC machine. This is called field winding. The field winding is placed on stator. This is called stator. The field winding is placed on stator. Armature winding is placed on rotor in DC machines. But in generators, current generators, opposite, exactly opposite. Field winding, this field winding is placed on rotor, and this armature winding is placed on stator. Understood? So this is the difference between the synchronous machines and the DC machines. The field winding is placed on rotor, armature winding is placed on stator, exactly opposite to the DC generators. Okay. So here to accommodate such high power, the conductor weights and weight and dimensions was not naturally have to increase for optimum performance. Okay, the conductor size must be increasing, and also size of the weight of this machine is also increasing. If you are placing this stator winding is placed on stator, or armature winding is placed on stator, and field winding on the. Okay. So here for this region beneficial to replace these high power armature winding by low power field windings, which is also consequently of much lighter weight, thus reducing the centrifugal forces required to run the rotor and permitting high speed limits. Okay, because of this region, sir. So this armature winding is always placed on stator only. This to increase the speed. If the speed of this rotor changes, there is a vibrations in the rotor. If you are using armature winding on the rotor, it is rotating. If any vibrations on this rotor, there will be vibrations in the winding of this machine. So that's why. So to avoid that loose connections, vibrations. Okay. And also here, this because of rotation, there is a centrifugal forces also developed. Centrifugal forces are more when the rotor is rotating. So because of that, there may be winding lost the connections in winding. Understood? It will become loose. Then winding will be so loose connections in the winding will be damaged. So that's why the winding. That is called armature winding is placed on stator. Field winding is placed on rotor. So there are mainly two types of rotors are used in construction of power generators. So that is called salient pole rotor and a cylindrical type rotor. This is called salient pole type. Salient pole type rotor, salient pole rotor types. This is called salient pole, and then non-salient pole or cylindrical type rotor. Another one is called non-salient pole or cylindrical type rotor. Okay, this synchronous machine construction based on rotor construction, it can be classified into two types. That is called salient pole type rotor and a cylindrical rotor type. Cylindrical rotor type and salient pole rotor. Same as induction machine. Slip ring induction motor, squirrel cage induction motor. Same as here also, synchronous machine can be classified into salient pole and cylindrical rotor. So in salient pole rotor type, so this is called salient pole. Okay, salient pole rotor type. So the term salient means producing or projecting. This is called poles are projecting here. The term salient means projecting. The poles are projected like this. A north pole Here South Pole, here South Pole, here North Pole. So that's why it is called a salient pole rotor. Okay, the salient pole type rotor is generally used for slow speed missions. Speed of the salient pole rotor. So this type of missions, the speed of this salient pole type rotor missions is very less compared to squirrel cage, non-salient pole, cylindrical rotor type. Compared to cylindrical type rotor, this speed of this salient pole rotor is very less because of centrifugal forces developed on the rotor. So it cannot withstand for high speeds. For high speeds, this motor cannot work. So the centrifugal forces are developed in this. Okay, the winding cannot withstand that much of speed. So that's why it is not suitable for high speed applications. Only low speed generating stations only the salient pole type missions are used. Okay, the salient pole type rotors are generally used for low speed missions having large diameters and relatively small axial lengths. Having small diameter and relatively small axial lengths. Large diameters and relatively small axial. So diameter, this is up to here, diameter is more. Salient pole motor, the diameter is more, but this axial length is less. Okay, the axial length is here in this way. Okay, the axial length of this machine is less, but diameter is more. Okay, this is the salient pole motor. Okay. So in the poles in the case of are made thick laminated steel sections riveted together and attached to the rotor. Okay, with the help of joint. So like this. This is called salient pole type rotor. Okay, this is called salient pole type rotor. So this is called mechanical support. The shaft. This is the middle one. It's called the shaft. This is called mechanical support. Okay, and this is called North Pole and South Pole and North Pole and South Pole. This is called field winding. Okay, this is called field winding. By using the field winding, the North Pole is developed. This is excited by DC, not AC. This is excited by DC. This for North Pole is fixed. South Pole is fixed. North Pole is fixed. This is called South Pole. North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, like this. Okay, this is called shaft. So this bolt, by using the bolts, this field poles are projected, placed on here. Okay, projected poles. These are called projected poles. This is called rotor, silent pole rotor type, silent pole type rotor. Okay, this is called 4-pole machine. This is a 2-pole machine, North Pole and South Pole. This is called 2-pole salient pole rotor. Okay, salient pole rotor, 2-pole machine. This is called 4-pole machine. In this poles in the case in this case are made thick laminated steel sections. Okay, riveted together and attached to a rotor with the help of joint. Okay, so by using this joint, we attach the pole fails. Okay, this is called pole core. This is called pole shoe. This pole shoe is curved like this. Okay, the pole shoes are curved like this. So because of to generate exactly sinusoidal AC, to generate AC voltage, the curved shapes of pole shoes are used. Okay, for curved shoes, types of poles are used. Okay, the curved shape. Understood? So like this now. The area between let's try to consider the area between these two is less, and then the area between this is more. So that's why. So it's exactly like a sinusoidal. The flux distribution is like a sinusoidal. It's acting as a sinusoidal. Okay, here this flux area between these two is less. This flux distribution is more. Understood? The area between this means flux distribution is between South Pole and stator magnetic field is more. Understood? So this area between here in middle, this area gap is less. This maximum flux distribution takes place. Stator magnetic field to rotor. So here at the end of the pole tips, here air gap is more. That's why so less amount of flux distribution. So that's why it is exactly sinusoidal. Okay, AC is there. So we'll get sinusoidal output voltage. So this type of poles are used. Silent pole. It's clear? This is about the silent pole type rotor. Okay. So in this, an alternator is mentioned earlier, is mostly responsible for generation of very high electric power. Okay. So this alternator is responsible for generation of very high electric power. To enable that, the mechanical input is given to the machine in terms of rotating torque must also very high. Okay. So this in generators, input is mechanical, output is electrical. So input is a mechanical, output is electrical. So if you want to generate the high power, high voltage, high power. So what you have to do? So the input of this machine, synchronous machine is also much high. That means is rotating at very high speed, then the output is also very high. Okay. So this is high torque value results in oscillation or hunting effect of the alternator or synchronous generator. High torque values results in oscillation or hunting effect of the alternator or synchronous generator. Understood? So this to prevent these oscillations from going beyond the boundaries, once the damper windings is used. Okay. So when speed increases, when speed decreases, when the load changes, okay, when the load is increasing, when the load is decreasing, okay, if the load is increasing, the speed is decreases. When the load is decreasing, speed is increases. Because of this load torque, these oscillations takes place in the rotor winding. Okay, these oscillations can be minimized by using one winding that is called damper winding. So generally, this winding is called as a damper winding. By using the damper winding, it is used to reduce the oscillations. Okay. So this is the rotor. If the speed is the load is increasing, this speed of this motor is decreasing. For example, this motor, the load is increasing, speed decreasing. The load is decreasing, speed is increasing. So because of the load, based on the load, this the speed of the oscillations on the motor is takes place. To reduce the oscillations, okay. So what you have to do? So damper winding is used. Okay, the damper winding is used to reduce the huntings or oscillations. Hunting is also called as oscillation. Okay. To prevent these oscillations from going behind bounds, the damper winding is provided in the 4 phases. Here, in this 4 phases, by using some slots here. In this whole phase, the one winding is used. The winding is called damper winding. Okay, in the 4 phases. Okay, by making slots, the winding is placed. That winding is called damper winding. Okay, so the damper winding is basically a copper bars short circuited both ends are placed in the holes of the made in the pole axis. Okay, so this ends are short circuited, same as the squirrel cage induction motor. Okay, the end rings are short circuited. The damper windings are basically a copper bars or short circuited at both ends. Short circuited with both ends and placed in the holes made of the pole axis. So here damper winding is placed by making holes or by using slots. By making slots, by making holes, the damper winding is placed and is short circuited with the end rings. So if it that means it acting as a squirrel cage rotor. When the speed is increases beyond and when the speed is decreased, then rated speed. Okay, the speed of the rotor is decreases. If the rotor is rotating at below synchronous speed, okay, the damping torque coming to picture and the rotor is rotating at synchronous speed. It's provided additional torque that is called damping torque. When the motor is rotating above synchronous speed, okay, this opposite torque developed in this damper winding and it reduces the speed and is rotating at synchronous speed. Understood? If the rotor is rotating it is above the synchronous speed, so what happened? One torque, opposite torque developed in the damper winding. Okay, then the speed reduces and it rotates synchronous speed. If the speed of this rotor is rotating less than synchronous speed, what happened? So in the damper winding is also because of relative speed between the stator rotating magnetic field and rotor. That is called the stator rotating magnetic field and this damper winding. Some may have induced it and then torque developed and is rotating. Okay, and torque developed and rotating the same as rotating magnetic field and reaches to synchronous. So like this damper winding is helps to reduce the oscillations. Okay, when the alternator is driven at a steady speed, the relative velocity of the damper winding with respect to the main field winding will be 0. Understood? When the alternator is driven at a greater speed, that is called steady speed, that is called synchronous speed, there is no relative speed between the stator and magnetic field and damper winding field. Damping. Okay, there is no relative velocity of the damping winding with respect to the main field winding will be 0. That's why there is no torque developed at synchronous speed. But as soon as it departs from synchronous speed, there will be a relative motion between damper winding and main field, which is always rotating at synchronous speed. Compulsory because of the load changes, there is a relative speed exists between the stator rotating magnetic field and field winding. So that's why, so to support the rotation, to oppose the rotation can be done by using damper winding. Okay, the relative difference between this relative difference will induce the current, same as induction machine. Okay, here the concept is related to the damper winding. Okay, if the rotor is rotating above synchronous speed or below synchronous speed, what happens? Okay, the relative difference will be induce the current and then which will accept torque. Understood? On the field poles in such a way to reduce the alternator back to synchronous speed of operation. That means when the rotor is rotating above synchronous speed, so because of the relatives between stator rotating magnetic field and the rotor, so some amount of EMF induced in this rotor and current is developed, and because of that current torque developed, that torque opposes the rotation and then the speed reduces and the stator rotating magnetic field and the rotor rotating at same speed. Okay, so there is a when the speed is increasing above, if the speed is decreasing, rotor speed is decreasing the synchronous speed. When the rotor of the synchronous machine is below the synchronous speed, so what happened? Okay, when the rotor speed is less than the synchronous speed, so in that case there is a relative speed between stator rotating magnetic field. Okay, so this stator rotating magnetic field is NS, that is for example 1500 rpm. Rotor speed is 200 rpm. So because of this relative speed between these two, okay, EMF induced in the rotor was here pole damper winding, EMF induced in the damper winding. Okay, the current developed and torque developed, and the force developed and torque developed, and the rotor supports the rotor rotation. That's why, so this rotor speed reaches to synchronous speed. Understood? Because of damper winding. So in this way, these oscillations can be reduced. Understood? So silent pole type motor is generally used for low speed operations. Silent pole type motor is generally used for low speed operations around 100 to 400 rpm. Okay, and they use it in the power stations with hydraulic turbines or diesel engines. In hydropower plants and diesel power plants, this type of silent pole type rotors are used. Okay, silent pole rotor types is silent pole rotors are generally used in low speed operations around 100 to 400 rpm, and they use it in power stations in the hydraulic turbines and the diesel engines. Okay, silent pole alternators are driven by water turbines, are called hydro alternators or hydro generators. Okay, in the hydropower plants, silent pole type rotors are used. Silent pole type rotors or generators are used in hydropower plants. Understood? This concept regarding to the